Hello and welcome everybody to another MachoorTV video. Today we're gonna talk about Street Fighter 6 and we're gonna discuss the Season 2 changes. Of course, Season 2 is still not here, but we're gonna talk about the wish list. What do I personally wish for the next season of Street Fighter 6? Of course, this game is by far like one of the best fighting games in history, okay? But I feel like Street Fighter 6 has potential to be the best fighting game in history. A lot of reasons. First of all, great gameplay, amazing netcode. It has a lot of modes. It's a complete game. Okay, it's a complete game. It's just it requires some changes here and there, and that's my personal opinion. I know that a lot of people who agree with me, especially like pro players. I don't see a lot of casuals who agree with this, but again, like the top 1%, the top, the masters, the high rank masters, the pro players, they definitely feel that there should be some kind of change. People who fully understand the mechanics of this game and the frame data, the character strengths and weaknesses and all that. People who fully understand that, they know that this game requires some changes. So for me, I feel like there are characters in this game that are just way too strong. Okay, there are 20 characters in this game as of November 21st, and some of them are just way too powerful, like 7 characters in particular. We're talking about Ken, Luke, we're talking about DJ, JP, Jury, the usual suspects, right? Guile, Cammy. You have all those characters that are just way too powerful. They are so abusive to the mechanics, so abusive to to their own strengths, that just make it seem like, why would you even try to play another character, right? Unless it's just for fun. But if you want to do well, if you want to like participate, if you want to participate in like tournaments or like win a tournament, or like like have like the best ranks in the world, something like that, why would you not choose one of those top tier characters? Of course, I think that the first wish list, the first thing that needs to be changed in this game is to actually nerf these top tier characters. I know that some people are against the idea of like nerfing characters. Why won't you just like buff the low tier and keep the high tier as the same? It's because the high tier are insane. The high tier like Ken, Luke, DJ, these characters are JP, these characters are actually insane. These characters are doing stuff that should not be allowed, like insane pressure, insane, one mistake, sometimes not even a mistake, can just lead to your death. All right, just guessing wrong, or not doing something, not taking the initiative, something you have, you can actually play block, you can just block and lose. Okay, like it's it's that bad. Okay, so I feel like the crazy characters, the very aggressive, very aggressive characters, they need to be nerfed. And I think that the bottom tier characters, they need to be buffed. Which this is a point that we are gonna talk about more in detail afterwards. But generally speaking, I feel like this will be like the first point that has to be like addressed by Capcom. I feel like personally, the fact that they have said that they are not going to make any kind of balance changes for like a year is actually a mistake. I don't definitely agree with that. I think a year is way too long. Let's say that Street Fighter 5, for example, it had like 7 years of life. So you're talking about seven balance patches. That's a lot of confidence in yourself, like to think that I made something and I'm not gonna change it. I'm not gonna make any kind of changes to it, or significant changes to it for a full year. That's kind of like arrogance, isn't it? But they've done a good job. But I think that some mistakes are just ruining this game, or ruining the potential of this game of becoming like the best that it can be. Of course, it's still vanilla Street Fighter 6. somewhat, they added some changes, of course, here and there with the drive rush macro, and they fixed some of the broken stuff here and there. They had some emergency, patches, all that, but that's not significant. They did not change anything when it comes to the actual gameplay of the game. So yeah, I think that nerfing these characters is definitely very, very important. You guys can see over here like the Capcom the Capcom Cup X or Capcom Cup 10 qualified characters. You can see from this graph that we have like 5 Lukes. You can already see, just look at this picture and you can already see that where how these characters are dominating this game, right? Like Luke is definitely dominating this game. Character is just insane. Like he's doing like whatever he wants. All right, got plus frames. He got insane corner carry with like maximum damage. He's got like insane supers, insane fireball, like everything that you could ever think about, right? Like amazing neutral, everything, right? Then 4 DJs, 4 Ken, 3 JPs, 2 Chun-Lis, 2 Juris. Like you can see like how it is. You can see the only abnormal thing here is like 0 Camis, which is like the weird, very weird that there are 0 Camis, because Cami is very strong in this game. I think at least one Cami should have definitely like made it. I don't know how Punk did not make it. I don't know. Does Punk did Punk not qualify? I don't know. I didn't really check. But anyways, you could just see it through this picture, like how it is, how it's spread, and you can already see that these characters are just dominating the game. And if you can see it like in rank, in like high tier ranks, you can just see that you're playing, like you're trying so hard to like win the game, and then the top tier character is just like doing like flow charts, like one hit into the other, It's just like it's just they're just like they're just taking you from one floor to the other, just like it's just like a snowball, right? Snowball effect. That's the best way to say it. So yeah, I feel like nerf these characters, buff the low tier. That will definitely help. I feel like you can take it this route. You can go and do this, or you can focus on nerfing the game mechanics, specifically speaking, the perfect parry and the drive rush. First of all, the perfect parry has to be discussed. This is not a mechanic that should be left this way. If you guys are following the scene on Twitter or on social media, you will constantly see pro players, they're just like complaining about perfect parry. Why is this mechanic the way that it is? You see Punk, you see Phenom, people who they are young. These people are not old. It's not like you can say that they don't like perfect parry because they can't really do it, right? No, they have the reactions. They have proven it for years now that they are consistent with having amazing reactions. They are amazing players, and two of the best, or if there are more. These are just 2 examples. The best players in the world are complaining about perfect parry. The reason is that not because of the damage. Of course, damage is very, very minimal when you get perfect parry, but because of the momentum change. The change of the direction. Like, let's say that you get pressured by Ken the entire time and you don't have a chance, right? Once you get your chance, you get perfect parried, and now it's his turn again, and now you're being you get put in the blender very quickly because of perfect parry, because just one perfect parry. And realistically speaking, or like relatively speaking, it's actually like low risk. It's low risk to do like a perfect parry. It's just a tab, right? Of course, after that tab, you just go back to blocking, right? You can get grabbed and it's a punish counter. But if you tell me that grab is the answer for perfect parry, I'll tell you that you just read this, or you don't play the game enough, or you just don't understand the complexity. Because are you never gonna take your turn? Are you never gonna press buttons? Because there are a lot of scenarios where perfect parry can be implemented. Anti-airs, easy anti-airs. In this game, like, the inputs are messed up, so people just like instead of like doing like crosscut DPs, or like doing like a tight DP or something, like, they just press one tap to the L2, one macro, and then that's it. They get the perfect parry. And don't tell me it's a 2-frame window. People are actually doing this consistently. The more you practice it, it's been like almost 6 months now. people are really good at it. People are consistent with it. If you watch some pro players, if you watch like, you know, pro matches and stuff like that, you will see when two characters are playing fireballs with each other, you will see that they're always perfect parrying each fireball. So how are they doing this if it is actually impossible and it's 2-frame, you know, window to do it consistently? They are perfect parrying every single fireball. You will see this, you know, in pro players and also like master players. You'll see a lot of people who are doing this. You will see people who are you know, perfect parrying meaties on their wake up. If they wake up, you know, and the opponent is pressing a button, they will perfect parry it. You'll see people who are perfect parrying, you know, anti-airs. They will see people who are perfect parrying, you know, when they are 0 on block. Let's say I'm Ryu, for example, right? I throw a light Hashogeki, for example. It's -4 on block, right? And then immediately I perfect parry afterwards. So if the opponent goes for anything like other than 4 frames, I'm gonna get a perfect parry. Now I took his turn, I stole his turn, and now it's my turn again. So people do it when it's 0, when they're 0 on block, when they're -1 on block, when they're -2 on block, -3 on block, when it's not a punish, right? When it's not a punish, they just tap parry and then they get a perfect parry, and now it's their turn. So it is incredibly annoying, and sometimes it is just super random because there is no you know, risk to it. In Street Fighter 5 and in other games, when you do parry, there are like a 50 frames of recovery. 50 frames of recovery. If you do a parry and it misses, you are left open. It's like an EXDP that is being whiffed, right? If you do a DP and it whiffs, you have all day long to hit that with hit them with like a heavy kick, a heavy punch, whatever, get like the best punch that you want. It is the same way with parry, even sometimes even worse. In Street Fighter 5, I mean, like, you know, remember Gil, remember Ryu, remember all these people. Like, of course they can get the parry, but if they miss the parry, it is game over for them, or like, you know, they take like a lot of damage. Why is it not the case over here? Why is it not the case over here? Parry needs to have like a longer punish counter window. That is one. Second of all, I feel like regular parry, okay, and perfect parry should have 2 different inputs. People cannot just be doing like perfect parries with just a tap, or just like, you know, a macro L2 and then they get like perfect parry. I think that's just ridiculous, right? It should be a risky input. Make it like, you know, there's a good example in the Street Fighter series, the third strike parry, where you had to let go of the block button and press forward to get the parry. Why is it not like that? It should be something like this, right? Or if you just want to keep it like that, increase the window, increase the punish counter window, make it like a regular parry. It would be awesome if it's pulled out, okay? If somebody makes it happen, it would be awesome because it's a risk, right? And they went for it and it worked, and it's 2-frame window and all that, right? And if they guess wrong, they will, you know, get punished. So right now it's just not risky. People are just doing it. People are just tapping parry all the time. Like, you know, it's like, what are you getting? Okay, you're getting grabbed, but if even sometimes people would get like, you know, especially with these characters that have that snowball effect, characters that are extremely offensive, you get perfect parried once, you attempt to parry, you get grabbed, no problem, you take 20% health, right? You attempt to parry again, you get grabbed, no problem. But the third time it works, all right? The third time it works, they just start their blender, right? They start the blender and you lose. It happens a lot, trust me, guys. So I feel like perfect parry has to be adjusted. That's one, that should be a universal change. And then second of all, raw drive rush. Raw drive rush is something that has to be addressed in this game. I'm not talking about drive rush in general. Drive rush in combos is fine, right? Drive rush in combos is fine. It enables you to increase your combo, like maximize your combo, or like increase the hits or all that. That is okay. But raw drive rush is something that needs to be addressed. Okay, just watch this example right now. Okay, these two are one of the best players in the world. We're talking about, you know, I don't know, like top 3, top 4. These are the Evo finalists, man. The Evo finalists. You can just watch this replay, okay? I'm not hating on them or anything. This is just the way the game is, right? They have in this clip, they have done raw driver 7 times in one One round. Can you believe that? Like this is what we're talking about. Drive rush, light punch, drive rush, light punch, drive rush. This is what the game is. Especially like, you know, why it just becomes like, you know, people are choosing top tiers based on the strength or strength of the drive rush of that character. Like if a character has an amazing drive rush, he's immediately really great. When we talk about amazing drive rush, we're talking about Ken, Luke, DJ, Jury. Oh my goodness, man. These characters, you just play versus a Jury player, you'll see their drive rushing all the time. They walk back, get stuck, and then they drive rush. You know, it's just bananas. It's just bananas. Street Fighter is supposed to be like a game where it's technical, right? It is footsies based, right? So just to have like a mechanic like this, just to like rush somebody down, skip neutral like this all the time, and it just costs you 1 bar. I don't think that's good. I don't think that's good. And drive rush light punch is actually so good to the point that sometimes it actually catches you while you're trying to check drive rush, right? It's just incredible. It's just incredible. And it was, the more you see pro players, the more you'll see people who are doing this. People who have like amazing drive rushes, people will do this all the time. All right. I personally think that drive rush should be adjusted in terms of the speed of drive rush. I think it should be universal. Right now, the speed of drive rush is not universal. There are characters that have insane speeds of drive rush. We're talking about DJ. DJ, for example, DJ has like how fast is that drive rush? 2 frames, something like, it's insane. It is insane. You cannot react to that. Okay. Like the speed of drive rush, raw drive rush should be the same for all characters, and it should be slowed down. Okay, slowed down. Make it something that is reactable. I don't know. Use a generic character like Ryu, for example. Check his drive rush. Give that drive rush to all the other characters, right? The same speed, the same distance. Okay, because sometimes the distance is the drive rush, you know, crosses a much more distance, right? Doing like, for example, when you see Manon, she doesn't cross a lot. She doesn't cross a lot of distance or a lot of meters, you know, with drive rush. But other characters like Ken, for example, would do like drive rush like insane. Like he's like at the end of the screen, he would do like, you know, a drive rush, and now he's in front of your face. Or like Jury, for example, or Luke. So the speed and the distance of drive rush or raw drive rush should be the same, and it should be lowered. Okay, that will not hurt the combos whatsoever. Okay, but it would enable people to play neutral the right way, play neutral back, and make things less crazy, because now neutral with drive rush is just insane. It is just crazy to deal with. All right, so these are the 2 main nerfs that I see the driver should have. And then the third thing, I think that drive rush Oki is something that needs to be changed also. Now in this game, a lot of the time, a lot of these like, you know, top tier characters, they have a snowball effect. When we say a snowball effect, is that one small hit or one hit will lead to the second hit, will lead to the third hit, will lead to the fourth hit. And a lot of these characters, you know, shout out to Ken Masters, can hit you once and now you're in the corner, okay? And he has a throw loop and now you're guessing for your life, right? So it's always like this. It is always like this. One hit, okay, that leads to drive rush Oki, sometimes even without drive rush Oki, which is something that needs to be, of course, addressed. But drive rush Oki, then, you know, guessing time. Then drive rush Oki, then guessing time. Now you're in the corner, throw loop, it's guessing time. Like, what is this? Like, you know, it's just one hit, one mistake. Sometimes it's not even a mistake. Sometimes it's not even a mistake. Sometimes you took the grab, right? Taking the grab, like somebody just like did, you know, roll drive rush, like crouching medium kick, drive rush, light punch, blocks through, right? You grabbed. He grabbed, I mean, he grabbed, you blocked. Is that a mistake? That's not a mistake. You guessed wrong. It's a 50-50, right? How can you know the future, right? How can you know the future? You can say, just do delayed tech throw. You can't get shimmied. You can't get delayed, you know, button or something like that. It can happen, right? So it's not a mistake. You just guessed wrong. From that grab, it will lead to drive rush Oki. Now you're in the corner. There is drive. There is throw loop, and now you're just guessing for your life. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, why aren't characters going back to neutral more often? If a character gets a hit, that's fine. Okay, it should not be the end of the world. Characters should go back to neutral. Go back to neutral, play neutral again, get it with punish, get a jump in, get a perfect parry, fireball, punish, whatever. Do something else instead of this flow chart of actions that people just keep on doing over and over and over and over again. It should not be like this, guys. It should not be like this. This takes us to the next point, which is like throw loops. Why are there throw loops in this game? You could argue that, okay, there are, you know, characters that struggle with like offense and all that, so they need throw loops. All right, let's just park this to the side. Why are there characters with plus frames on block? Luke has crouching medium punch that is +1 on block. Okay, Jury has plus frames. You know, like other characters. If you have plus frames in this game, if you have insane frame traps like Ken, if you have like insane drive rush speeds, you know, drive rush Oki, you should not have throw loops. Okay, the corner in this game is like the scariest corner that has ever existed, man. The scariest ever that you have. You have to consider, you know, plus frames. You have to consider drive rush. You have to consider, you know, if he throws a button, you have to be punished. You have to consider drive impact. If you get drive impact, you have to drive impact the back. There are so, imagine if they have to give a command card. Like it's just, there are so many things to consider in this case in the corner. Why do they have to add throw loop on top of all of this? If a character has, you know, insane pressure, they should not have throw loops, period. If the character struggles with attack, for sure, you know, you can argue, you know, to give them throw loop. If they remove them, if they remove throw loops completely, I'll be happy. I'm not gonna complain, right? But if they want to make things a little bit more fair, okay, and maybe not go and nerf each character, like specifically speaking or something like that, they can nerf these kind of mechanics. They can nerf throw loops, they can nerf the drive rush, things like this, or the Oki from drive rush, right? If they nerf this kind of stuff, automatically it will per character, not a universal change, right? So throw loops, if you can change that. Also, like, you know, for example, drive rush, you can also, like, you know, make it not something universal. You can change it per character. That will automatically just, like, you know, shift things around in the tier list and make everybody just, like, you know, be more balanced. Or you could just go to the route of, like, you know, nerfing each character or adjusting each character to the way that you think that is more suitable, right? So drive rush has to be changed, or roll drive rush. We talk about roll drive rush, and drive rush Oki has to be changed. Perfect parry has to be changed for damn sure. We're talking about, you know, throw loops has to be addressed. These three, I think these three are the main issues with this game. If you fix those three, if you adjust them, everything else will start to make more sense. Everything else will start to, like, you know, come together and become better. Now let's talk about the other stuff that are just like a little bit beneficial, that would actually like make the game just run better. I think that there's a lack of, like, you know, defensive options in this game. The defensive options are there, okay, but they are not balanced. For example, one of the main stuff is drive reversal. Drive reversal in this game is so underwhelming. It is so underwhelming. I don't get why drive reversal. Why is it even, like, do you even see people using drive reversal? It's so rare, man. It is so rare. Can you guys just go back to Street Fighter 5 when people were doing V reversal? V reversal was actually very good. Like, you know, there were actual matchups, a lot of matchups, or some of the matchups. It is better for you as a character who has V reversal or has the meter for V reversal to not open your V reversal, but use it for, you know, the V trigger. Instead of opening V trigger, it is better for you to just use V reversal, right? In certain matchups. This thing over here is just not existent, like, because it is -8 on block. Why is it -8 on block? This is something that I thought about multiple times. They don't want you to block. They don't want you to block. They want you to take the pressure and guess. That's what they want, you know? They want this to be an offensive game where you're just constantly just being guessing for your life. People play neutral for like 5 seconds in a match or in a round. They play neutral for 5 seconds. They get one whiff punish. They get one jump in. They get one perfect parry. They perfect parry one fireball, then drive rush, punish it, or like they get one thing. They play neutral for 5 seconds, and then no, there is no neutral afterwards. It is just, you know, pressure after pressure, pressure after pressure, Oki after Oki. It's like this. It's a guess after guess. It is just like this. So why are we not buffing the defensive options? Let me counter that, right? Let me counter that. Imagine if you can, if just Ken gets one hit, gives you like, you know, a Tatsu, then now you're in the corner, you have throw loops, you're guessing for your life, right? Imagine if you can use drive reversal in that case, and Ken just goes back to neutral, and then you can dash, get out of the corner. Now you two are playing neutral, you two are playing Street Fighter, you're playing a fighting game right now. You're not playing, you know, XO. You know, you're not playing, you know, I don't know, like rock, paper, scissors. XO is not a good example. But, you know, rock, paper, scissors, you're not playing that anymore. So, why are the defensive options bad in this game? You know, we're talking about drive reversal in particular. Drive reversal should not be -8. In my opinion, I think it should be -5, -4, something around that, right? You know, they can, you know, test it, see which one is better. Either it's -5, -4, something like that. Okay, I think this is one way to fix drive reversal, or the second way is to not make it 2 bars of drive meter, because now a lot of the times you are actually, like, when you're blocking, you lose a lot of drive meter, right? So a lot of instances you see that you are, if you do drive reversal, okay, you are either gonna end up in burnout, or you're gonna be so close to burnout that even if you attempt to parry or if you block anything, you are gonna get, you know, you are gonna get in burnout. Okay, a lot of the cases where you are taking insane pressure from Ken, right? Your drive gauge is depleting. You do drive reversal, now you have like half a bar. Okay, you have like half a bar left. So what happens is Ken will just wake up, EX Hadouken, drive rush. He's in front of your face. What can you do in that case? Can you parry? No. Okay, unless you are amazing with perfect parries, you can get like a perfect parry and save some of the meter or not go in burnout. Okay, but if you mess the perfect parry, you are going in burnout, my friend. If you neutral jump, Ken is anti-airing you. Yes, from full screen after drive rush, he goes to the end of the screen. He wakes up, you know, EX Hadouken, the drive rush. In this case, you have one option: either that you perfect parry or nothing, because you have half a bar left. Okay, and if you miss the parry, if you do a regular parry, you're going to burn out. If you neutral jump, he's anti-airing you. If you forward jump, he's anti-airing you. If you block, you are going in burnout. You are going in burnout, and that's like a stun in the corner. So what I'm trying to say is that drive reversal right now is so expensive for no damn reason. Okay, when we talk about it, just think about it. Just think about it. The proof is that the offensive options, roll, drive rush in this game, as strong as it is 1 bar. It is 1 bar, but a defensive option that is -8 on block, so punishable, so punishable. Every character can punish it easily, right? It is 2 bars. So what does this mean? It means that the game, Capcom does not want you to block. Capcom does not want you to be defensive or have, like, you know, great defensive options. They want you to take the guess. They want you to be attacked. They want people to attack. That's why we see characters that are very offensive, okay, are topping the charts, are topping the tiers. They are the top tiers right now. Ken, Luke, you know, all these characters are like insanely offensive. That is why. Because people don't use drive reversal, because they are always put with that case. Like every single time I try to do it, it's either that I'm going burnout or I'm very close to burnout. So I think that drive reversal is one of the main ways to fix this this issue. And I feel like, you know, if you just fix one of these stuff without the other stuff that I've mentioned, like the raw drive rush and the drive rush Oki and the perfect parry, I think if you just fix one of those stuff, it will just ruin the entire thing. Why is that? Because let's say that they nerf drive rush. Let's say that they nerf drive parry or perfect parry, right? And you, as someone who is getting pressured by Ken or Luke or something like that, right? If you miss the chance of doing perfect parry, then Ken can just keep on doing everything. Now that removes the defensive option from your arsenal, right? So Ken can just keep on doing whatever he wants to do, more and more and more and more. So that defeats the purpose, right? But if you fix the perfect parry and you remove or you nerf the drive rush Oki, okay, that means that Ken cannot continue doing this, or like top tier characters cannot continue their pressure. So it takes one defensive option from you, one successful defensive option from you to go back to neutral, okay? Or you take one hit, you take one guess, which is not your fault. A guess is not your fault, guys, right? If you guess wrong, it is not your fault. If you take a grab, okay, it's not your fault. Like, you just guessed wrong. It's not like you whiffed a button. It's not like you did something that's punishable. It's not like you missed a chance. It is not your fault, right? You go back to neutral, okay? Which was the case, by the way, in Street Fighter 5. In the beginning, there were throw loops, but they removed them. So I don't get why they're making the same mistakes again. They made these mistakes in Street Fighter 5. Now they fixed them. They fixed them at the end, right? So why are they starting with the mistakes again over here that are causing the game to be just completely an offensive, like, festival? Like, it is just very offensive, bro. It is just very offensive. In this game, you have to play, very, very aggressively. You have to be amazing with your attacking. And you just watch the tournaments, bro. Just watch the tournaments. If you don't believe me, just watch the tournaments. See what is going on over there. How long are people playing neutral? How long are people playing neutral? What are the characters that are winning these tournaments? Are they characters that are, defensive characters? Are they characters that are, not offensive? No, all of them are offensive characters. All of them are offensive characters. It takes one successful thing in neutral, a whiff punish, a perfect parry, a jump in, something like that. It takes one thing to get, steamrolled. It's just like you are, in a loop. You are in a loop of guesses. Let's just, decrease the number of guesses that you're doing in a match and increase the number of situations where you are playing footsies, where you're playing neutral, you're playing fighting game, right? I don't want to play rock, paper, scissors the entire game. If there's a scenario where it's a 50-50, okay, that's fine, right? But not every scenario, not everything, because now most of the scenarios are literal guesses because of the drive rush, Oki. So yeah, these are the stuff that I think that they need to change. Plus, of course, the input issue, which is a topic on its own. I think that the input issue, it has to be resolved. The fact that the game saves the inputs for way too long. You get accidental supers when you try to anti-air. You get, accidental stuff all the time. Okay, even before the game starts, even before the round starts, if the announcer is saying round 1 and you are doing like a quarter circle forward or something, and then it says fight, you press punch, you get a fireball. Like, what? They go, what? That's what it is. That's what the game is doing. Like, why is it like that? They need to fix this, okay? It's a priority. I think this is a priority. But I feel like it's, in terms of importance, it's just slightly lesser than the other ones, right? I think that the perfect parry, as we said, the drive rush, roll drive rush, and the drive rush Oki, these stuff, they need to be changed alongside throw loops, and give us a buff for drive reversal. That should really balance things out. And on top of this, don't make the changes. Perfect parry should be the universal change. Everything else, maybe drive rush, roll drive rush should, as I said, speed should be the same, distance should be the same, but that can also be debated, right? Let's not make universal changes that much. Let's make changes depending on even like mechanics based, because right now drive rush is not universal. Drive rush is all over the place, right? And you see the characters that have plus frames, they have amazing drive rushes. Like, it doesn't make sense. So let's not make changes universally. Just make them per character, what they need, what that character actually lacks. Give them that, okay? So then there would be some balance. If a character can hit you once, take you to the corner, side to side, coast to coast, okay, take you on a ride. That character should not have plus. It should not have, you know, amazing drive rush. Okay, should not have throw loops. No, no, that makes no sense. That makes no sense. Anyways, guys, this was a little bit of a rant slash wish list for the season 2 of Street Fighter 6. Hopefully somebody from Capcom watches this, and they already know, like, people are complaining about all of these stuff all the time, you know, pro players are complaining about this all the time on Twitter and stuff. So I know that they are looking, I know that they are watching. So yeah, hopefully they can fix something, they can do something better. And yeah, if you guys agree with me, if you guys feel like these points are valid or something, please leave a comment down below. I appreciate you guys if you like this video, if you sub to the channel if you haven't. And without further ado, I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.